Hello, everyone, and welcome to Women's Wellness. My name is Dr. Jessica.
And I'm Dr. Tiffany. And today we're going to talk about menopause and osteoporosis. Cheers!
Cheers to women's health. All right, here we go. So when it comes to women's health, we just wanted to mention the stage before menopause, which is perimenopause. And so perimenopause can actually happen in your early 40s. There's really no specific way to determine if you're in that perimenopause stage. But what happens is your estrogen levels do begin to fluctuate from high to low, and your progesterone levels start to naturally decline over this time. So you will notice some of those early signs and symptoms potentially of menopause, like hot flashes, maybe some unnecessary or unwanted, I should say, weight gain.
And they'll be all over the place. They won't be very consistent yet.
Yeah.
So then once you get to actual menopause, that's defined as 12 months without your actual menses or period. So a full year. And some symptoms, which by the way, 85% of women will experience menopausal symptoms. Those include your irregular periods or lack of periods. We'll have dryness, hot flashes, night sweats, low libido, mood changes, one way or the other, weight gain, and slowed metabolism. It is important to try and prep for menopause before you get to menopause. So the things we talk about today, like the dietary stuff, the exercise, start doing that stuff before you actually hit menopause to prepare your body.
So true. And we want to let you guys know that menopause is a natural thing that happens in our bodies, ladies. Like a lot of people associate this with a negative period in their life, just because of those symptoms that can be bad. So that's why Dr. T was mentioning, like, hey, in that perimenopausal stage, in your 40s or whenever it happens to be for you, just start to prepare your body so it's not as bad. It doesn't have to be a negative period in your life because it's a natural thing that happens to all of us.
We just want to be prepared. So the most common symptom is hot flashes. 75% of women will experience those hot flashes. So we want to be prepared. It's always good to have like a fan, sleep with a fan, have a fan. Also cooling down with some ice packs. And I know it sounds crazy, but dressing in layers so that you can take layers off when you do start to get warm. Just a statistic for you. Estrogen dominance, we spoke about this in our last video where we talked about infertility and estrogen dominance at a younger age. Well, what estrogen dominance is when you get to menopause and you already have higher estrogen, your estrogen's up here and it starts to go down as you hit menopause. But if you're estrogen dominant, it actually it'll be way up here and it's a steeper drop, which means those symptoms will be more severe, if that makes sense. So there's a couple different scenarios. If you get your blood work done, you're going to want to test estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Yes, ladies, we have testosterone. Men also have estrogen, but we just have it in smaller doses. So the first scenario is if you're estrogen dominant, you'll have more estrogen and lower progesterone. Usually in menopause, your progesterone will be much lower than earlier in life. And that's something you'll want to take care of with the things we talk about through diet and other tools that we give you today. And then another scenario is where your estrogen may be normal, your progesterone may be low or normal, and your testosterone's high. So this is where we also have the weight gain we talked about, hair growth, things like that. So this is because your estrogen has been high for so long and it starts dumping over and turning into testosterone. So the same things that make your estrogen are also the same things that make your testosterone. So we're going to treat that as if it's estrogen dominance because the same things that will take down your estrogen will also bring down the testosterone as well.
So I wanted to hit on xenoestrogens because this is the way that your body will create maybe that excess estrogen that's within your body. Again, we touched on this in the last video, but xenoestrogens can be things in your beauty products, in foods, plastics, your cookware. So if you want to look at those swaps, again, refer to the last video because we talked about xenoestrogens and that estrogen dominance. But we do want to hit again on how to actually start to decrease estrogen naturally in your body.
So we're going to talk about detoxing for a minute. So we have a few supplements listed. The first one is our detox. It's great to detox a couple times a year, especially after the holidays. But what we're talking about today is specific to the estrogen dominance. So what's cool about our detox system, there's a part where you take the capsules in the morning and a part where you take the capsules in the evening. Our detox system has dandelion extract, which helps your liver detox the excess estrogen out of your bloodstream. It has cabbage powder, and cabbage is also a cruciferous vegetable, which also helps your liver detox. Psyllium husk, which is higher in fiber to help your digestive system eliminate excess toxins. And then flaxseed powder, which is the same thing, also higher in fiber. So these things are just to name a few in the detox to show you how it actually can be specific to estrogen detoxing.
Yes. And so the other thing that you'll want to add in specifically, if you do know that your estrogen levels are high, is that middle product, the women's hormone balance, because it does have a couple of things in it that will help your body naturally metabolize or get rid of estrogen. So things like folate is in it, but chaste tree, which is something that we'll talk about a little bit later as well, but it can help with hot flashes and symptoms of that nature. It also has the green tea extract, which unwanted weight gain happens sometimes when we are in menopause. So the green tea will help with the metabolism and burn some things. And there's also black cohosh, which has been probably one of the #1 things that people use for hot flashes and the nighttime sweats. So adding in the women's hormone balance will be your next step. And then we also wanted to mention just adding in foods that will help your body, again, naturally metabolize and get rid of estrogen. So these are the cruciferous vegetables that we have up there. So broccoli, cabbage, kale, cauliflower, Brussels. Those foods will actually naturally help your body and your liver detox.
What's really cool about cruciferous vegetables is they have something in them called the indole-3 carbinol. That's a fancy word that means DIM. DIM is one of the things that you would take to decrease your estrogen and excess estrogen. So you can naturally do that through food. So if you're going to try this estrogen detox, I would try it for a month and then go retest your levels and see where they're at.
Sorry, I also mentioned, or we also put on there, milk thistle, something else that you can add in. There are teas and other supplements that you can do. So teas would be like traditional medicinals. They have a detox tea that you could add in and start doing that on a daily basis. And the other thing that I would do is if you do know that you have a sluggish liver, which your liver helps metabolize and get rid of the excess estrogen in your body, you can actually take a product from BioRay called Liver Life and can help support your liver through this process as we are trying to get rid of the excess estrogen.
So it's not just one organ that we're supporting, all the detoxifiers. So how you can best minimize your symptoms, we're going to talk about a few things. Lifestyle changes. Let's see where we're at. Reduce stress intentionally through meditation and yoga. Intentional breathing is going to be helpful in decreasing cortisol levels. That's important because when cortisol goes up, you actually will retain estrogen. Your fat cells make estrogen and they can make more estrogen with the higher cortisol levels are. So helping your best to decrease your stress is going to be helpful. Where cortisol is made is your adrenal glands. When you hit menopause and your ovaries stop producing eggs and your estrogen slows down, your adrenal glands actually take over those sex hormones and start producing them, the estrogen, the progesterone, as they taper off. So it's important to take care of your stress.
Lifestyle changes, other things that you can do are sleep, which we'll hit on a little bit later as well, but exercising. You also want to prevent muscle loss in your body as well. The more lean muscle mass we have, the more we can actually burn in calories. And so that consists of just making sure that you're eating enough protein for your body. They say, and I think I have this in a later slide as well, but women that are over the age of 50, you'll want to consume at least like 0.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So could actually be more than you're consuming right now, potentially.
I definitely need to eat more protein. Like I said, start now.
Start now.
And then best exercise for menopausal women would be strength training. Strength training is going to help increase your bone strength. It's also known that 3.5 hours of activity a week are going to help with your metabolism, your bone strength, and like you were saying, with your muscles. So you want to do that. If you want to just start with walking, you can start there. Outside, you're going to get fresh air, possible some vitamin D nowadays. Just a personal story. My grandmother, she is now 96, I believe. And the last 20 years, she has gone around at this is a little early, but 5 a.m. She walks to the perimeter of her neighborhood, and she used to take the newspapers at the end of the driveway and bring them up to their to the people's doors so they could get them in the morning. And they always called her the newspaper girl. So sweet. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that's just something she always did, and she got used to it, and it was in her routine.
Yeah. So again, the point is to get moving no matter what it is, no matter what activity level you're at. Just get started and don't be scared. Even if it's once a week, do something you enjoy, whether it's dancing, pickleball. I feel like a lot of people love pickleball. So just get moving and start with 1 day a week. Don't let it be this monstrous task that you have to do. Just start somewhere, even if it's 2 minutes a day. The other thing you want to do is start getting out bad foods. I'm sure you ladies have heard this enough, but sugars, refined carbohydrates, and bad oils or foods, so things even like canola oil, vegetable oils, just trying to remove those from the diet and replace them with healthier things, because all of these things are the endocrine disruptors and can create more xenoestrogens in our body, which increase the estrogen levels, which can create that estrogen dominance. So using good cooking oils like coconut oil or ghee to cook in, butter, all of these things are actually better for our hormones and are healthier for us.
And then also decreasing alcohol. I know some ladies like to drink some wine. That also can increase your blood sugar levels, which does put more stress on your body. But just to connect the dots, remember, we've heard not to eat sugar and carbs, but estrogen and toxins are stored in our fat cells, and it's going to be harder to lose weight because of the decrease in estrogen in our bone health. So we want to try our best with this now. Alcohol also will help deplete vitamins and minerals that we need in our body, and can also increase those estrogen levels just because of what I just mentioned with the fat cells.
So nutritional steps that we can take in terms of helping our bodies with our estrogen and through menopause, minimizing these symptoms.
Taste the rainbow right there.
Taste the rainbow. So number one, take an omega-3 or increase those healthy fats. So again, cooking in butter or using olive oil, or ghee or coconut oil. Using olive oil on salads would be great. Using flax seeds or chia seeds, whether it's in a pudding or putting it again as a salad topper, but more healthy fats to help support our hormones as we start to change and go through these phases. Another easier way to do it is taking a fish oil supplement. So an omega-3, you want to make sure that it has EPA and DHA in it. Those are going to be the important letters that you want to see if you look at the ingredient labels on a omega-3, and you'll want to look for about 1,000 milligrams to 1,200 milligrams per day.
Yep. Some great sources of omega-3s are going to be wild-caught salmon, any of those fattier fish, sardines, free-range eggs, also olive oil that you mentioned, cod liver oil, walnuts are one of my favorites, chia seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds. Those are all great sources of omega-3s. And then next, you're going to, these are herbs that will support your adrenal glands, which means they'll support you in stressful seasons. The ashwagandha, rhodiola, and maca. Ashwagandha is great because it can help decrease stress, anxiety, and depression. Rhodiola, is known as an anti-aging supplement as well, and can decrease your cortisol levels. And then maca root can also help with strength and low libido, and can also help with anxiety and depression. All three of these do work on your adrenal glands.
So that last step, or not the last step because we have another slide on this, but the next step would be increasing your fiber. So we talked a little bit about fiber earlier, but fiber is something that pushes things out of your intestines. So you want to make sure that you have enough fiber in your body so that you're having a nice healthy bowel movement once or more times every single day. Because the more that we excrete, the more that we're pushing out the extra or excess estrogens from our body. So again, we're supporting our liver, helping metabolize or get rid of, detoxify the excess estrogen, and then you need to push it out, right? So going to the bathroom is a very good thing. So getting in, again, more chia seeds, flax seeds, psyllium husk is going to be a good thing. And all those, the psyllium husk is in the detox system, which will help you go to the bathroom, but it's not a colon cleanse per se.
Correct.
Okay. Cruciferous veggies.
Cruciferous veggies. As we mentioned before, cruciferous vegetables have something in it that can turn to DIM as soon as you eat them. And DIM is something that will help you decrease your estrogen and progesterone levels. So cruciferous vegetables, again, are going to be broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, things like that. Maybe eat them in moderation. I know sometimes they can be a little gassy. And then you also want to increase phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens are naturally occurring plant compounds that can also decrease estrogen in your body. So that looks like eating fennel, celery, parsley, flax seeds. Flax seeds are in a lot of things. I mean, they have the high fiber. They're going to be higher in the phytoestrogens, nuts and seeds. Now, these are not xenoestrogens. Those are bad. Phytoestrogens are good. They help take the edge off of those symptoms that you get with menopause.
That's really crazy and cool. So we wanted to hit on some herbs and supplements because I'm sure a lot of you have heard of these, but black cohosh and I would say evening primrose oil are some of the top herbs or supplements that menopausal women use to help decrease, more specifically, the hot flashes and night sweats. So you would find those in a like Whole Foods or a supplement store, and you would just follow the directions on the box for those. Same with the chaste tree berry. It's again good for menopausal symptoms like the hot flashes. Most of these have to do with hot flashes right here.
It can also help with chaste tree berry can also help with migraines as well. Evening primrose is going to be one of those healthy oils. You can find this anywhere that essential oils are sold. So like Whole Foods, something like that. This is going to be one of those biggest ones that have been used for a long time. I would start with evening primrose. It does have omega-3s in it. And this is going to be the main thing for hot flashes and night sweats. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, this is also, like Dr. T was saying, something that you can do that perimenopausal stage. So if you're in your 40s or maybe even late 30s and you're starting to experience some of these things, just start adding that in. Because as you go through perimenopause and menopause, I will say the things that you take and the things that you do for your body will change over time. So not all of these will apply to you per se right now, but over time you might have to change what supplements we're doing or add in new supplements to help take away some of the unwanted symptoms of menopause.
And when we talk about taking these supplements, this is something you want to do daily on a routine basis, not necessarily as needed, but you want to get the black cohosh, the chaste tree berry, you want to get this stuff in your system ahead of time so that it starts working at that micro level. The last thing listed on the slide is the magnesium. What's really cool, we're going to talk about bone health here in a minute because calcium actually helps contract a muscle and magnesium helps it relax, which is pretty cool. So magnesium does a lot of great things. A lot of the main things for menopause that it helps is it's going to help you sleep. Because when we hit menopause, it is harder to get to sleep. It's harder to stay asleep. Sleep's just hard. So magnesium is going to help with sleep. It's also going to help with restorative health, which is going to help your body restore your muscles and relax your muscles.
So some supplements that we wanted to mention would be the vitamin D3 with a probiotic. So the reason we'll want to get that in is for the bone health, which should be coming up in just a moment, but helping support your bones. But vitamin D3 is also a very good hormone support. So we're trying to support those estrogen and progesterone levels as they come down through aging. Again, a fish oil is going to be really good for you, looking for the EPA and DHA to help support the building blocks of hormones, right? Those essential fatty acids help support the building blocks. And then if you're not getting magnesium through foods, even dark chocolate has magnesium in it. Dark leafy greens are also magnesium rich, but you can take a magnesium supplement as well.
You want to know what food has the most magnesium?
Ooh, tell me.
Coffee. But be careful with caffeine intake. You could always do decaf, organic decaf, but coffee is one of the things that has the most magnesium in it. we always say food first when it comes to this, but when you have those symptoms, I would definitely work on taking supplements. So when it comes to bone health, osteoporosis is associated with low bone mass, where bones become naturally weak, increasing the likelihood of fractures. So when you hit menopause and we decrease our estrogen is actually a stabilizer for your bones. So now we're decreasing that. So it's all the more important to take care of our bones. Another stat for you is 1 in 10 women over the age of 60 are affected by osteoporosis. And this is something, osteoporosis can be measured through a DEXA scan. They'll usually measure it in your lumbar spine, which is your low back, or they'll either measure your hip as well. Anything where there's a dense area of your bone. And then at the age of 40, women begin to lose bone at the rate of 1/3% to 0.5% per year. So just knowing these, it empowers us to take more control to help.
I love that. Empower us to take more control. That's what we're all about. So how can we strengthen our bones? We're going to eat, again, those dark leafy green veggies, kale, spinach, broccoli. All those are going to be really great for your bones. But also, like I said earlier, making sure that we increase our protein intake because your bone is also structured with protein. So we'll need to support our bones by eating enough protein throughout the day. And if you're not getting it through, let's say, grass-fed beef or free-range chicken or salmon, healthy salmon, then you can do it with a powder. So getting a good, healthy protein powder that is grass-fed whey. You can also look for collagen protein powders as well, because that will help support your bone matrix.
So vitamin D, magnesium, and vitamin K are definitely going to be helpful in bone health. So if you're taking a calcium supplement, you also want to be taking vitamin D. Vitamin D is basically like the car in your blood, in the highway of your body, which is blood system. Vitamin D is the car, and it picks up the calcium as its riders, the passengers, and then brings them to their destination, which is your bones. So it's important to take both. If you're going to take a calcium citrate might be a good one to start with. Vitamin D3, you want it to be D3, not D2. Also take those together. And then magnesium, we've mentioned, and vitamin K is also important for bone health as well.
Again, strengthen your bones, weight-bearing exercises. So don't be afraid of picking up some dumbbells, ladies. I know people always think about like getting bulky or big, but actually using weights will help increase your lean muscle mass, which will help you burn more fat and will help you with weight gain. So don't be afraid of weights. They're actually going to be really great for you. They'll help you increase your metabolism as well, just depending on how we're using them. So for example, if you're doing a HIIT or a high intensity workout, that will help you burn more calories. But normal weight training, just going in and lifting some weights, is also going to be really good for your bone density. This can be one of the best ways that you can actually strengthen your bones. So even if you're going for a walk, for example, you're getting vitamin D from the sun outside, but maybe even carrying a 1 pound weight in each hand as you're walking to add a little bit extra gravitational pull and stressors on your bones, because that's the important part. When you're using weights, you actually stress your bones, and that stress not only helps your muscles, but it helps your bones as well.
I like that you gave that example, like 1 or 2 pound hand weights, or even they sell ankle weights. If you wanted to try ankle weights and just doing, like, you can't see my knees, but if you just lifted up one knee and then the other, that would be a great exercise to start. They do have chair exercises with that as well. So just to give you guys some ideas, it doesn't have to be where you go in the gym and lift the heaviest weight you find. And then we don't have this in our slides, but something else you can go on. That really helps with osteoporosis is if you're a patient of ours, you're already doing it, it's the vibration plates. Vibration definitely can help strengthen your bones, and it actually can help if you take the DEXA scan, if you take the testing and then you work on the strengthening, the weight-bearing exercises, you do your vitamins, you do vibration, you should slow the process of osteoporosis very slowly. So if you have a vibration plate, you're already on the right track.
Amazing. Who knew? That's so cool. So we wanted to hit on our last topic, which is weight loss, because we know that this is a big thing, probably not only if you're in menopause, but just in general. It is nice to be lean and mean. So here's some ideas for you guys to get you going, to help you through this stage as well. So intermittent fasting. 16 to 8, what that means is 16 hours of letting your digestive system rest, and then you'll have no eating, and then you'll have an 8-hour period of where you are consume all your food through the day. So if you wake up at 8 a.m., how would I describe this? But you're not going to eat till noon, and your eating window would be from noon to 8 p.m.
Correct.
Is that 8-hour window of when you eat, and then you're not going to eat again until noon the next day.
Correct.
So
intermittent fasting is worth a try. You could try it 2 days out of the week. It can be effective, but it doesn't mean that it's for everyone. So see how you do on it. And like you said, 16 hours, which includes sleep. So that's helpful.
Yes.
Because you're sleeping through 8 hours of it. The next thing is leptin resistance. We talked about leptin and ghrelin on our last video, where they were the gas and the brakes of your hunger hormones and your satiety hormones. So you want to make sure that those are balanced by, again, not eating starchy foods, and also trying to eat more sustained foods like green leafy vegetables and things that are actually higher in good fats.
And then also when it comes to that, like the more overweight we are and the more fat cells we have, the more estrogen we're creating. So it will also create more estrogen dominance. And that estrogen dominance is also just, again, going to throw off our leptin and our ghrelin. And our ghrelin, which is our gremlin, I like to say, and is our hunger hormone. It will constantly be on telling that you're hungry. So then you'll keep eating, and then it's just a bad cycle. So again, refer to the last video. We did give you some tips on how to help with that leptin resistance.
Sleep, creating good sleep habits. So we also talked about good habits to do for sleep on the last video as well. But like I said, when you hit menopause, it is harder to fall asleep, stay asleep. So maybe doing those habits now, it doesn't matter what age you are. So maybe getting a diffuser with lavender oil in it, taking an Epsom salt bath before you go to bed. That's a really good one to help relax your muscles. Having certain plants in your bedroom, like a snake plant, mother-in-law tongue, peace lily. Those are all things that create better oxygen and better air. So just creating an environment in your bedroom where your body recognizes your bedroom as a place for rest and sleep.
I love that. Creating good habits starting now. It doesn't have to necessarily start when we're already full-blown into menopause. The last thing I wanted to mention on this slide was cold showers. So cold showers, not always a fan. I was not a fan myself. I just started this, I would say a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago.
I call it lukewarm showers now. I try.
And all it is at the very end of my shower, I started with turning it to as cold as I could for 10 seconds. Maybe you'll start with 5 seconds. But what it will do is increase your body's metabolism. It can increase your thermogenesis, meaning that you will burn more fat throughout the day. So it's not going to be like the number one thing, like always do cold showers. This is definitely going to help you lose weight, but it is an extra tool to add into your tool belt. So again, start slow. It's not like I am not taking a 5-minute cold shower by any means. I started, like I said, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm finally up to a minute. So just starting slow, 10 seconds or whatever you can tolerate, and slowly increasing. And what I have found is, while I don't really enjoy it, it actually is helping my discipline. So there's days where I actually look forward to it to see how long I can withstand it. And there are other days where I'm just like super dreading it. But once I do it, I find out it's not actually as bad for me. So really, it's also not only disciplining my body and helping me burn more fat, but it's actually also disciplining my mind, which I think is pretty cool.
You are a ninja. So
some last ideas for you guys when it comes to weight loss. Again, making sure that we're eating enough protein. We did give examples of healthy proteins to eat, like the grass-fed meat and so forth. But again, a protein powder is an easy way to get in maybe breakfast. If you skip breakfast, and doing a protein smoothie would be helpful. And again, I have that up there, the roughly 0.5 grams of protein per pound of weight daily, which looks like, if you break it down into anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. And I actually use MyFitnessPal as a way to track like meat and like how many grams, I guess, of meat I am getting per meal. So that might be a good place for you to start if you're interested in that.
That's an app where you can enter in what you're eating. And I think it does the math for you, doesn't it?
It does.
I used to use it.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, the other thing is the palm of your hand. Sorry, this made me think, yes. Hi, how? Palm of your hand is a good reference also for the size and the amount of meat. I want to say the palm of your hand is about 3 or 4 ounces of meat. And so 3 or 4 ounces of meat right there can be helpful and beneficial if you aren't actually weighing your foods, which you don't necessarily need to. It's just an extra tool for you guys. The other thing is green tea.
Green tea has catechins in it. That's fun to say. That's just a really powerful antioxidant that can really help boost your metabolism, which means help you lose weight and also help you get adequate sleep when it's time to go to sleep. Green tea does have caffeine in it, but not as much as a cup of coffee. So it is good to drink throughout the day. I'm forgetting it. And also help you break down excess fat. So incorporating green tea into your diet would be good. I know it has its own distinct taste. Sometimes, even if you have allergies, it would be good to put in some local honey, not too much, just a little bit to sweeten it up if you like.
Also, I would say matcha green tea is like the powdered green tea is going to be one of the best green teas for you. Again, try not to add too much sugar because then you're probably negating the effects of the catechins that are in green tea.
Maybe you could drink it in the cold shower.
To keep you warm.
Don't do that.
Hey, maybe. And then last thing is just make sure that you're getting enough water throughout the day. So what I've always tried to mention to people is before you pick up your next snack in your house or before you go to the refrigerator, maybe grab a glass of water, drink that really fast, wait a couple minutes, and then see if you're actually truly hungry or not. Most of the time, your body is actually more thirsty than you are hungry. So going for that glass of water first, it's not as fun, but it might help your waistline. Just saying. I don't know. But half your body weight in ounces of water every single day is what you want to aim for. And if you are working out, then making sure that you're getting an extra glass or 2 as well.
Thanks for joining us. If you have questions, type them in the. Oh, actually, sorry, this is our last slide. If you have more questions or interested in talking to us, there is a link here, the Calendly link. If you want to type that in and schedule a 15-minute free phone consultation with one of us, we would be glad to talk to you. But we hope you enjoyed our talk, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.